There you go.
Hello, listeners. How are you today? This is Can We Talk? I am Charles Scott Sr., and I'm here with Charles Scott Jr.
How you guys doing today?
And we are here this fine day, and we are going to give you some information that will be helpful in your home buying or your home selling process. We are in the real estate business, and I am the broker, and this is my co-broker here, Charles Scott Jr. You want to say a little bit?
I just want to say, so it's been 1 week and a lot of things have changed, right? What did we see last Wednesday on the news?
Well, the interest rates went up, but you know what? That's no reason to panic. Things go up, things come down, and you adjust to it. So with a plan, and we are here to show you how you can make out and how you can better plan your life and also plan your financial planning. You know, that's an oxymoron, I guess, plan your financial planning, but, you know, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
and we're here to sort of give you some ideas and some tips as to what you can do.
Yes, definitely. So as we saw last week, interest rates went up by 75 basis points. Well, some people may say, what does that mean? So it went up almost an entire point, which normally we don't see that. It usually comes up, half a point, a quarter point. But as you see, right now in the economy with the gas prices too, the inflation is still what they say is a little out of control. So that's just the Federal Reserve trying to cool things off and get things back to what we're used to, back to normal.
Exactly. Now you got to realize it's almost like what is it, Newton's law of gravity?
Yeah, what goes up
comes back
must
down.
come back down.
And then also for every push, there's an equal resistance.
Yes.
So in this particular case, no matter what happens as interest rates go up, there's a good side to that.
Yes,
and you have to look at, well, what's the good side to me? Interest rates going up, inflation's going up. Do you know that in the economy, when the depression and recessions come in, more businesses are created than ever before because people get creative.
Yes.
And here in America, we get creative and we figure a way as to how and what we're going to do. So hopefully we can give you some ideas as to some of the things that you can do, and also how to maximize the equity within your current property. Last week we talked about ways of improving your property so that you can get the biggest bang for the buck, how you can make more money on what you have, and to give you that curb appeal. It's like a series of, we're telling you what you need to do. We're going to continue on with that discussion today.
Because what I was going to say is basically we want to help you, find that value in your home, or when you first get your first starter home, and not to spend a lot of money either. You're not to break the bank, and there's simple little things you can do. In our last episode, we talked about, for example, the kitchen. We use one of your examples of the properties. You have a kitchen that may be a little outdated. You paint the cabinets white. They look beautiful. You didn't have to go out to buy new cabinets. You took what you had, you made them white.
Exactly.
And also you bought the little knobs they have at Home Depot, which are not very expensive at all.
And this is from our own experience of things that, we've done. We're almost like that team that you see on TV where this old house or where you see
HGTV, Property Brothers.
Property Brothers, where you
Property
see
son and father.
Exactly. So these are things that my son and I have done on property that we have to improve those properties without a huge budget. Matter of fact, with a very minimal budget, and also things that we have done that we did not do before. I mean, since we were on the air the last time, I think one of your accomplishments was that you changed out
the hot water heater.
Hot water heater.
Yes. Some people, honestly, in this day and age with the labor shortages and everything, I've had experience. You call a plumber today, a lot of these plumbers aren't going to come out immediately. They have so many jobs, they're packed up. You're lucky if they pick the phone up. So, I've actually done it before, but I bought a hot water heater at Home Depot. I went on YouTube. Yes, YouTube. I went on YouTube and learned how to install a hot water heater. It's a 15-minute video. It's actually very easy. And they actually make products for that task that don't require some people maybe soldering or cutting pipes too much. It's very easy.
Yes. And, look at it this way. What it would have cost maybe $1,200 to do cost a total of around $700.
Exactly.
So there's 40% of the cost that was...
Big savings right there.
On top of that, it was done within a matter of 3 hours?
Oh, yeah, 3 hours.
3 hours.
Definitely.
The other way, You sit at home, you call around all the plumbers, you call this one, call that one, and they say, well, we'll be there by the end of the week.
Oh, yeah, exactly, end of the week. And
So by the end of the week, now there's more time. So you got to sit around and wait and hope they show up.
hope they show up.
If they
And
don't show up,
when they get there, there's always something that's missing, an extra part they have to go buy, so it's extra expensive.
and they start adding more money on. So all of that was eliminated by basically a 3-hour job, and it was done, complete, boom, hot water was back on.
So what we're saying in this day and age, you know, especially with the free information you see on YouTube and other places, a lot of things in your house you could actually go try it yourself first. I mean, I'm not recommending electrical or anything like that. That is for professionals. But certain things you can actually get done in your house by yourself, you know.
Exactly. And also another thing too is that there's certain things that a homeowner can do in his own home that he don't need permits for.
Correct.
There are things that you need a permit for if you're changing the structural, if you're doing electrical work, or if you're doing plumbing work where you're changing pipes around or something that's holding the roof up. You need a permit. But there are certain things that you can do yourself without getting a permit, and even if you have to get a permit, you as the homeowner can go and pull the permit on certain things to do it yourself.
Yes.
So how do you find out? Call the building department, call the local person within your city and say, this is what I'm looking to do I need a permit? If they say no, like my son said, go on YouTube, figure it out, look and see how you can do it yourself. And not only that, a lot of these home improvement stores, they have classes.
Yes, people, even with the COVID, now COVID is kind of dying down. They're having more in-person classes at Home Depot. You can learn how to sheetrock. You can learn basic things that actually are of value to you.
Right. So there's a lot of things that you could do on your own. So mainly what we're saying is that you want to be able to economize, save money, and when it comes to what's happening with the recession and the price of goods and all this going up, in many cases, most people would not be doing this had the price not gone up. And then
Yes.
once they see that they can do these things, in the long run, actually they're saving more money, because if it costs you more money to do this, you say to yourself, well, if I can do this, I can do this. And if I can do this, I can do this. And then what happens is the person says, hey, you know what? I bet I could buy a house and remodel it myself
There you go.
and fix it up and sell it like those guys do on TV.
Yes, very true. That's what got us into this. Last week we were talking about how some people, they go to buy a house, they look for the brand new house, the house that has all the bells and whistles. But not only are you looking for the house, everyone else will get the same Zillow notification, and they'll go to that house also. What you want to do is find a house that may be just there in the middle. Maybe need some paint, maybe a couple new appliances, something like that. You don't go for the glitz and glamour, you have a better chance of getting the house.
Exactly. So what happens is that in the long run, when you figure out how you can do these things and you can save money, and let's say, for example, the interest rate went up, and so now the mortgage would have cost you, let's say, another $100 a month. But now all of a sudden you found out how you could buy a house and fix it up and sell it, and you make $100,000.
Exactly.
So hey, that $100 a month more that jump-started you to start figuring out can I survive on my own just made you $100,000. So as I said, with good and bad, there's always something that equalizes it out and jumpstart people to start thinking on their own.
Exactly. What some people call the silver lining. There's always a silver lining in things. And right now the interest rate's going up. It's not a time to be scared. Actually, it's going back to normal. Back in the 80s, 90s, interest rates were much higher than they are right now.
Much higher.
Much higher.
And I just spoke to a gentleman, and he said when he bought his house, the interest rates were what, 12%?
12%.
12%. So
Yep,
a
back in the 80s.
lot of times right now people are getting spoiled. So basically what we're saying is don't back off from buying just because the interest rates have gone up.
Exactly.
Corresponding to that, guess what? The rents have gone up also.
Very true.
So
Very dramatically.
Let's say, for example, the rent went up by $300 a month, but the mortgage payment went up by $100 a month because the interest rate went up. It's a no-brainer. You're still
Exactly.
better off buying the house than to paying the rent. On top of that, look at it this way. The mortgage is a fixed rate mortgage. Meaning, if you buy even at, let's say, 8%, right?
Yep.
Even though it's, 6% now, whatever you buy it at, that's fixed. That's never going to change unless you refinance. Now, let's say in the future, the economy, let's say, goes back down, and the banks start lowering their interest rates, and hey, you can go and refinance
That's
that
good news
mortgage.
for you. You can
It's good.
refinance at a lower rate.
At a lower rate. So maybe if you were at 7%, now the interest rates drop down to, let's say, 5%, you can go and refinance back down to a lower rate. But guess what? If you're renting and the landlord went up on your rent by $300 and the economy is the way it is right now, and then things get better, you think he's going to come to you and say, well, since everything is better and the prices are down, I'm going to reduce your rent by $300 a month.
Wow.
No.
Sounds
Don't
like a
expect
movie.
Don't expect that. So at least remember this. When you buy the house, even if the interest rate is up, if the interest rate goes back down, you can refinance to a lower mortgage. But if you are renting and the landlord keeps going up on your rent, don't expect him to do you a favor and lower your rent.
And what we're also saying is, you see, you have a house, interest rates fluctuate, you know, you may want to refinance here, borrow here, but in the end, when you sell that house, all the value you've had put in the house, whether you've maintained it or not, you're going to get some of that money back, if not all, make a profit.
Exactly.
And that's what we're seeing a lot of people do right now.
That's a very good point.
Yes.
That's a very good point, because what happens is that even at a higher interest rate, as long as your property appreciates in value, later on down the road, you're still selling that property. And, you know, it's not guaranteed, but in most incidences, over a period of time, you're getting back all the money that you put into the property.
Correct.
I used to tell people the largest or the savings account that you have is your house. I said, think of your house as a big piggy bank. Every month you pay the mortgage. And you're crying, oh my God, there goes my money. But you're putting it into equity, to something that's growing and growing. So it's like you're putting money into that piggy bank. Now, down the road, maybe you're going to retire. Maybe you're going to go and downsize. So you take a hammer out and you break that piggy bank.
There you go. It's out there on the market for sale.
You sell that out. All the money you accumulated in that piggy bank is now all yours. If not, you still may have a mortgage on the property, but you pay off whatever the mortgage, the balance of that money you get to keep.
Exactly.
So the more money you put into the piggy bank, the more money you get back. So if the mortgage costs you more, then in the long run you get back more. So as I said, there's a put and take and a balance in everything. You just have to look at your situation, because if you're paying rent and the rent's going up, are you benefiting there?
Nope. We see some people, what do they say? I have a good landlord. They've been paying for years, 10 years plus. And then we write down a piece of paper that shocks their mind. You've paid this landlord over $200,000, something like that, and you paid for the house.
Oh yeah, no wonder he's good. You know, I say to them, boy, I want to be that good landlord to you.
Right, good tenant.
So these are the things that we tell you. And, you know, I tell you a lot of these things, and even my son now, he's younger than me, but he can tell you from experience, because I've done it over the years, but he's also doing it now. He's experiencing, he's fixing the properties up. He's looking at the properties. He can see the values. He's putting that labor in there. He's doing the education and figuring out the cost of the labor, and working with the contractors, working with the workers.
Very true.
So it's a matter of getting involved and getting out there and doing something that can actually benefit you. Exactly. These are the things that, you know, you have to do. We're doing this from experience. I've actually, again, like I said, I've been in the business 37 years. I'm a broker and also investor, and bought many homes, sold many homes, fixed up many homes over the years, and worked with a lot of different people and contractors. And, you know, my son is also, you know, an investor and owner and fixes up properties. So we're telling you all of this not from just telling you because it's something that we read. This can all be verified. Everything is public knowledge.
We're here to teach people. We want to help people, you know, basically the knowledge is here to share and for people to learn.
Right. All of this experience and knowledge, and not only the things that we're talking about, they can all be verified because the public records keep records of everything.
That's one thing about real estate, when it changes hands. Some people, we call them up and we tell, okay, so you want to sell your house, we see you refinance this year or that year, and they say, well, how do you know that? Well, it's public record.
It's all public. People are
Everything's
shocked to know that everything they do in real estate, anyone can go and look it up. And it's like, how did you find that out about my property? How do you know how much I owe? Well, I just made a phone call.
Right.
I called City Hall and I gave them your name, and I don't even have to know your name. Give them your address. And they'll say, well, this is the owner of this property. This is what that owner paid for the property. This is what they refinanced. This is how much they of a mortgage they got. This is who they bought it from. This is the taxes. And they go, how do you find out? They almost seem as though you broke in their house and looked up all their information.
Right. What's in my files?
It's no more than a phone call.
No more than a phone call.
You know, a lot of people say, well, how you know all my business? Well, it's public knowledge.
Public knowledge.
There's no secret. And then I tell them why. Here's what you might want to listen to. Why is that? Why can someone call City Hall and find out all about your property, your name? And
Just for the protection.
For your own protection. Believe it or not, you might say, well, how does that protect me? Look at it this way. You know, as you know, there's a lot of fraud that goes around.
Yes.
Suppose you decide to go on vacation for 2 weeks. You board your house up, you go on vacation, you leave everything there, and now I put an ad in the paper, and I say I'm selling your house, and I'm selling it. In most cases, they rent them out. They say, oh, I'm going to rent this house out. So now I put an ad in, and then you look up in the paper, and you say, okay, I want 2 months security and 1 month's rent, so you bring me $5,000. I stand outside of your house, or I could even almost call a locksmith and say, oh, I left my key inside.
Yep.
I'm locked out. And they come and they open the house up, give me a key. They think I'm the owner of the property. Now, someone who wants to rent the house, I meet them. I unlock the door and I say, oh, here's the house. Remember, you're on vacation. You'd be 1,000 miles away. So they hand me $5,000. I lock the house back up and I say, okay, meet me back here 2 or 3 days. I'll have the lease. And I take off and you never see me again. Now the 5,000 is gone. However, if you say, those people look kind of shady, how do I know they own the house? I'm going to call City Hall and see who the owners are and find out who the real owners are. So when you call and say, those are not the people that I talk to. So see, by making it public knowledge, you're aware as to who the real owners are of the property. Or if I try to sell you the property, I show you my ID. Well, my ID doesn't match what City Hall has. So that's why everything is recorded, so that someone trying to take your property or scam you, City Hall has the accurate record. So it's for your benefit. It's not a matter of knowing your business.
What do we see today? It's even worse because, you know, you said the paper, but people will take the house pictures and put it right on Facebook Marketplace. I have an apartment for rent. Come to the house. And what they'll do is say, before you come to the house, because people might be in a desperate situation, send me a $100 deposit for the application fee. In this day and age, we have multiple apps. We have Cash App, Zelle, and those apps ask you before you hit the send button, do you know this person? You may not know the person, but you know you want that apartment. You send them the $100, you go up to the house, knock on the door, there's someone there saying, who are you? The person scammed you. So
exactly. You just brought out a good point. Listen, public out there, to what I'm saying to you, because like I said, this program brings you knowledge and gives you education.
Yes.
This is, we're talking not because of theory, we're talking from experience. And we'll tell you an actual case that happened to us. This happened, about 7 months ago?
Yeah, we had a house for sale in north end of Bridgeport.
Yes.
People were calling us saying, okay, I'm here. What do you mean you're here? I'm here with the money. We're going to get the apartment, right? I might have no idea what you're talking about. They said, check Facebook. You typed in the address on Facebook. Someone had the house listed as an apartment, a house for rent.
Actually, the same picture?
Same pictures we took our pictures.
They stole the pictures right from the internet.
Put it right on Facebook Marketplace.
Put it up for rent. They put the house up for rent. And people would call and they put their phone number.
They put their phone number and they would only allow people to text them. So people love texting. They text them. They start making a report of them. Say, okay, apartment's available. Send me a $50 deposit for the application fee per adult. So you have 3 adults. That's $150. You're excited. So, oh, I'm gonna get this apartment. You Cash App it to them. Next thing you know, they block you on the Cash App and on the Messenger. You can't see them.
But it goes a little further than that. In one particular case, the person sent $1,000. They were asking
Oh,
for $1,000 deposit. They
Yes.
would call back and say, "You have the apartment. Send us $1,000, and then we will meet you at the apartment." Now, what happened in this particular case? Someone called me and they said, "Hey, I'm standing outside of this house that is for rent, and there's people still in it." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "But there's a for sale sign out there." And I said, "That's right, because we have the house for sale." They said, we gave somebody $1,000 to rent it. I said, "Well, guess what?" And then he says, "Oh, no, don't tell me. My wife told me not to send that money."
He was warned, that's right.
And I said, "See," I said, "we don't know what you're talking about." And they said, "Well, there's somebody out there saying this apartment's for rent." We sent them $1,000. So people out there, before you send anybody any money, go see the house, verify what you're doing. It may not be for rent. You're sending your hard-earned money. And today, with people being so desperate for apartments, they're willing to do just about anything to get
anything.
So be careful of what money you send through the mail, or well, it's not even through the mail now. It's instant. Cash App, Zelle, whatever those different, with all these apps that they have out there. You go and you send the money. Once you hit send, it's gone.
It may be convenient, but it's also conveniently easy to get scammed too. The scammers know it too.
They know it, and in many cases, these people live 1,000, 2,000 miles away.
That's why they want you to text them, because they don't want you to hear maybe they have an accent, maybe they don't speak good English. They have someone next to them translating the text. But you'll notice they won't pick the phone up most times.
And remember the ones we called them on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
We called them on the phone and acting like we were looking to rent. We said, "Hello, how are you? Where are you at? Where are you located?" And then I think the gentleman said, "Oh, I'm at the hospital right now. I can't talk to you right now."
Exactly. He wouldn't pick that phone up. "I'm in the hospital with a friend." So you think, "Oh, I'm not going to bother him. He's at the hospital." Well, he's trying to scam you and 3 other people at the same time.
So we're giving you that tip today. If nothing else, beware of all of these things that are out there. In other words, beware of of who you're dealing with. Like I said, we've been in business for 37 years. I actually am the past president of the board of realtors for this particular area, and also in the New Haven area. I serve on various committees, various community organizations within the area, well established within the community. My son also serves on different committees and different associations. We are certified realtor brokers. You can go and see us on YouTube. You can see us on all of the different social media.
We're on TikTok too.
We're out there. We're in different things. We're not hiding from nobody. So you can get an idea of who you're talking to and who you're listening to. And we are certified to sell real estate, and we are also certified to be able to, if you're looking to rent an apartment out, we can talk to you about that. Or
we help landlords constantly. And the thing is, we find landlords good tenants. We don't just throw anybody in there.
Exactly.
Very, very good tenants.
We belong to the Bridgeport Landlords Association, which is local here. We belong to that association, the state associations, and also the National Association of Realtors.
Yes,
so
NAR.
NAR. We belong to city, state, and national organizations.
Exactly.
So therefore, my son and I, we both belong to those organizations.
So basically, when you see that, that means we have a reputation to uphold, and we're not here to we're here to help. We give knowledge to people. We assist them to buy their house.
Exactly. And also now in continuing, we'll put a little bit more time into some of the things that can help you. And let's say you want to sell your house and organize in that particular house. If you are looking to upgrade, like we said, even if you want to do your bathroom over, there's certain things you can do. People today, you see where they have the bathtubs where they fit right over the old ones. In other words, they have the retrofit. They come in, they measure everything, and within a matter of an hour or two, they can drop everything right around everything.
Bath fitter, they call it.
Bath fitter, that's exactly it.
Well, people can actually, like I always mention YouTube and all stuff like that, but a bathroom is actually real easy to make it look shiny. Basically look like someone walks in, they say, "Oh, I gotta have this house." You get a new vanity right there. You get a new toilet. Some people think changing a toilet is a very hard process. It's not. It's 2 screws. It's 2 screws and a rubber donut, the seal. I mean, it might be not the cleanest job, but it is a quick job that can be done. And there's a lot of modern toilets you can buy, whether it be IKEA, Home Depot. Change the vanity out, change, like I said, the bathtub with the fitter over there.
You've done all those things,
Yeah,
right?
I've done all those things.
You fit out the vanity, you fit out the wax seal underneath there, put the mirror up there.
Tile on the floor.
Tile on the floor. You've done
It's like
that.
a whole new bathroom. I didn't have to touch a pipe or anything, you know?
Exactly. The other thing is what they got this thing called glaze.
Oh, yes, the
You
glaze
could
in the
take
tub.
an old looking tub and get the epoxy, and it comes in like a quart can. You put the two chemicals in there and you shake it up. You
Yep.
get yourself a fine brush, and you can paint everything across, and when it seals and hardens, it looks like brand new tub.
Brand new tub.
Shiny, hard epoxy, lasts for years.
Yes, yes.
And that costs you maybe about $40.
Yeah.
It was the same without, like you said, disconnecting a pipe or doing anything. You could do the sink over. You can make the bathroom look night and day. So there's things that you can do yourself and improve your bathroom, looking 1,000% better.
1,000% better.
You
so
know?
people can use these skills to find themselves a house at an affordable price.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's why, and more so than ever, you need to do what we're saying, because as the prices increase, why go pay $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 or more when you can get a house that's in livable condition and make those improvements yourself? And you don't have to do it overnight.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be done so that you can buy the house, move into the house, and have fun with the project.
Little by little.
Little by little. It's a fun project.
Think about it. Every dollar you spend, you're making $3. That's how you keep motivated.
And get exactly what you want, because you might buy the house, it might be maybe blue tiles. Maybe you want it,
change the tiles.
a different color. So this way here, no problem. You change the tile. You change this. You change that. You see people on TV that sell these supplies, all these different paint companies. What do? They show you couples painting, fixing up.
Oh, yeah. You see that in the commercials.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
So hopefully, today we gave you not only some tips on how to improve the value of your house,
And avoid
but
scams.
also how to not get scammed out there, which is even more important. You work too hard for your money.
Yes.
Don't let someone else take it from you within a matter of 10 minutes.
Exactly.
So the tips that we've given you there, this is for your benefit and for your safety and for the benefit of your family. That's why when you watch these segments, we're out here to help you. Maybe you want to close it out?
Yes. Like my father said, we're here to help, and definitely next week we'll continue this series. We'll go from the bathroom, we'll go to the living room. We're going to, basically, by the end of the series, we'll be able to fix the entire house. Definitely.
Again, my name is Charles Scott. I'm the
Charles
broker.
Scott Jr.
Charles Scott Jr. We're a team here. We're out here to help you. And until next week, God bless. Shalom.
Amen.